Hello, welcome to another edition of Nayu Sabi TV. I'm your host, Victor. Today, we will be talking about divorce in marriages. Please come along.
It's a lot of discipline to stay married when divorce is all around us. In order to do that, you have to reject the thought that the grass may be greener on the other side. Don't fall into the comparison trap. That's a slippery slope into unrealistic expectations that sets you up for a false reality. You ultimately have to get comfortable with the fact that you're probably going to be dissatisfied to some degree, no matter who you marry. And when this happens, someone else's life will always look more appealing.
Divorce is not easy. Divorce is hard. It is hard on women. It is hard on men. It is even harder on the children. Do not leave your marriage because the women outside or the women that are divorced are glorifying life after divorce. Because when they pull you out there, you will find out differently. Life after divorce is hard. It is tough. You will end up being disappointed. A lot of women will prioritize their own happiness over their family. Men, on the other hand, usually would prioritize their family over their own personal happiness. Be careful leaving your marriage, because when you leave your marriage thinking that life after divorce will be so glorious, you will find out differently. You will end up competing with young women in their 20s, young women in their early 30s. It is even difficult for those young ones to compete in the dating market. Just imagine yourself competing with those young ones. It is going to be merciless. It is going to be brutal for you. A lot of times, divorced women end up getting used by men out there and getting dumped. They get used by men after men, body counts increasing and getting dumped. And a lot of times, you will end up crying yourself to sleep. It is not going to be easy if you're thinking that it's going to be easy. So be careful allowing people to pull you out of your marriage. Work on your marriage. I will encourage you to divorce if there is physical violence or there is extreme verbal abuse. So do not just get divorced because you want to go out there and chase your happiness, because you're going to find out differently.
You have a friend who recently got divorced, and she's telling you how wonderful it is. Take it from me. I've been a divorce lawyer for over 40 years. Divorce is a 10 on the Richter scale. It is one of the worst things that you could possibly go through.
Guys, don't let anybody deceive you now. Waiting pay past divorce, it don't dey for this life.
A lot of women after divorce have gone into dating apps trying to find men only to be used. I'm talking about getting used and dumped. Dumped after getting used. They find out that they should have stayed in the marriage. You know that a lot of women that leave a relationship leave believing that they can do better out there. But if you leave, you will find out that the dating market is tough, that your sexual market value actually have dropped. Men there will not take a lot of you serious. And a lot of women who have gone out thinking they're going to do better, gone into dating apps, trying to find a man, a lot of them are ending up canceling their dating apps because they are finding out that the man they left is the person they should have been with. So be careful trying to get yourself deceived. Maybe you even have a dating app before getting out of the marriage. So all kinds of men are talking to you, telling you how beautiful you are. When you live out there, when you leave your home and go out there, you will find out that you are just going to be, I'm talking about screwed, if I can use that word, and dumped. You're going to end up even being a side chick to a lot of married men. Be careful living your own marriage.
And why is 80% of divorces are filed by women? And why is that? So the comment that I got was, why do so many women leave their husbands simply because they are unhappy or bored? Why is it that men have the endurance of till death do us part, and yet many women have the endurance limited to their emotions like boredom and unhappiness? And I think this is a great question. And I see videos pop up all the time in this space about women leaving simply because they're unhappy. And why is that? And what's the solution to that? So what I had to see for myself as a woman, why we have such a limited endurance in marriage and we are so quick to leave and so quick to run, is because we have no concept when we get married that we are actually making a commitment to another person. We're making a commitment to ourselves, that our vows actually mean something.
Over 70% of divorces filed in the United States is filed by women. I don't know about the other Western worlds like United Kingdom, Canada, France, Germany, and all that. But in the United States, for sure, over 70% of the divorces are filed by women. And the reasons they file for divorce is usually because they are not happy, they are bored in the relationship, they outgrew the man. Now they stop working on the marriage, end up filing for divorce. I don't know anywhere it is written or said when two people are getting together or getting married that one person's happiness has to depend on the other person. No one person is charged with the other person's happiness. So people, instead of working on their marriages or finding out why their marriages are not working, they will easily walk out. Women get easily bored in situations, and in marriages, women are easily bored more than men. And as well in other stuff. So women will get bored because they don't get excitement. They don't have that butterfly anymore. So they will leave. Women are very, very emotional, and their level of emotion even increases when they begin to go through hormonal changes. That is maybe 40s, 50s and stuff like that, when they begin to go through menopause. So because they're going through these hormonal changes, their emotions are also changing. So now their level of satisfaction and happiness dwindles. So they blame their unhappiness on their spouse. They blame their unhappiness on their children. They blame it on other family members, such as in-laws. Instead of really looking inward.
How old are you?
I am 77.
What does it feel like to be 77?
It's hard unless you're
occupied a lot. In the end, I made a good living. I was alone. I'm divorced.
What was the biggest lesson that you learned from the divorce?
I think what I understood was that I had gotten married very young. I was 20. I feel that I didn't really understand what it meant to get married. It's a commitment for life, and if you choose someone that doesn't work out, it's sad.
What should we be looking for?
If I was looking, which I'm really not looking, but if I was...
You're not on the market?
No. I think you have to find a person that is going to be your best friend and who you will love passionately.
Most women, or should I say some women, will leave a marriage, get a divorce, simply because there is a man out there. Either because that man was sliding into their DM, telling them that if they come out of their own marriage, they will marry them. Then they will leave their marriage. Because now, they've been in that marriage for a long time. And their husband have become predictable. Now they are bored. They want to go out. Because that man outside is more exciting. The man is telling them everything they want to hear. So they leave their marriage, file for divorce, file for alimony, file for child support, and they go all out there only to be bamboozled by that man and dumped, by other men and dumped. Now they are met with disappointments. However, they are getting child support, they're getting alimony, and they have rented a place or even bought a home, and now they are paying mortgage. So now they are paying mortgage or rent, they're paying electric bill, they're paying gas bill, they're paying water bill, they're buying groceries. So now they have duplication of the same thing that man is doing wherever he's staying. So now they are paying somebody else money, getting another person richer, taking from their former spouse and getting another person richer. I wonder the common sense in that. You could have stayed in your marriage. You could have saved your marriage. And that money that you're wasting outside, you and your husband could have been saving it. You and your husband could have been investing it in a way, into a place that you can end up probably building a dynasty for your children. You're getting somebody else richer. And divorce is also expensive. So you take from your former spouse and you pay lawyers. To me, I see a lot of foolishness in that. Leave a comment and let me know how you feel about that. Because you end up regretting it. You didn't get what you went out there to get. You met with disappointment. And yet, you end up wasting resources that could have been saved for your children.
You know, life after divorce. As a woman, I would honestly sit here and say, as much as I've made the decision and the choice to divorce my husband then, I also regret it. I don't regret it because I still loved him, but I regret it because I feel like I denied my children the right and the opportunity to have what people call a normal.
A woman's sexual market value goes down after a divorce. A woman's sexual market value goes down as they age. It keeps going down. The man's sexual market value gets better as they age. So after a divorce, a woman is now going into the sexual market with being older, probably have children, and now they're a single mother. They have been through the traumas, the heartache of divorce. And having gone through a lot of heartache, because divorce is tough, A lot of these women want to jump into another relationship. They never get therapy. So now you're going into the market as a woman, being older, being divorced, being a single mother, having a lot of trauma. All of this does not make the woman's market value go up. Rather, it makes it to go down. So now you're going out after a divorce to compete with younger women in their 20s with youth. Because they are younger, they look more attractive. Because they are younger, they can bear children for a man. So men look at youth. They look at a woman's ability to procreate. I bet you asking, why would a grown man want women in their 20s, early 20s? Well, that's biology. The man is made to go out and multiply, to go out and have children. And that attraction is with younger women. You say, well, I have experience. What about my experience? Your experience does not really matter to a lot of men. Because that experience that you have is probably because you slept with other men, a lot of other men. That experience is probably because you have a child for another man. That's your husband or your ex-husband. That experience that you have is your trauma. That experience that you have, because you are now older, you are less flexible when it comes to working with a man. So your sexual market value dwindles. In short, what that means is you are not as attractive to men when you go out to date.
Here I am on my new bed, my princess bed. It's amazing. I feel like a different person already. I feel like I can do whatever I want, and I'm not responsible for anybody anymore but me. I don't know, things aren't going that great. I just keep thinking about what it used to be like when things were good. And maybe all of this was my fault. Maybe I am a selfish, narcissistic. Maybe it's me. I don't know, but I'm kind of struggling. All that fake, all that happy, oh, I'm doing so great. I think I was in shock. And now
being alone has been the most challenging part of my divorce. It's times like this when I feel and wish that my sister and I were still close and I could, pick up the phone and call her. But that's just not where we are right now.
Get divorced more than men. Financially speaking, women's lives get worse after the divorce, while men's get better. The standard of living for women goes down an average of 27%, while the standard of living for men goes up 10%. So you can see why women may feel that their lives get worse after divorce because their standards of living go.
There was a very interesting research that was conducted. So what the researchers did was they went out to several women randomly. And these are women that are contemplating divorce. So they talked to them, and a lot of them said they are not happy and they want to get out of the marriage. Then they went back to those women 5 years later and they talked to them. And some of those women stayed. And for those people that stayed, they interviewed them and they asked them, how do you feel about your marriage now? And over 90% of them said that they are happy in their marriages. So now the researchers are asking, could it be that people are so quick to choosing divorce before they work on their marriage or face other options? That if over 90% of the people that stayed say they are now happy, if you extrapolate that to a lot of people that have gone through divorce, could it be that if they decide to stay longer, that a lot of them will be happier or happy in their marriage today? So before you're too quick to choosing the route of divorce, think about it twice. One, choose the route of working to make your marriage work. Because if you do work on your marriage, you probably will find out that there was really nothing wrong. That all two of you needed to do was work on your marriage. So please don't be too quick to divorce. More women are getting tertiary education, that is university education. Now, some of them are even getting masters and PhDs. With that said, a lot of women are climbing up the corporate ladder. A lot of women are making money. A lot of them are even making more money than their husbands. So what does it mean when a woman is climbing the corporate ladder? It then entails that the woman at times will have to work long hours, that the woman probably have to travel, and sometimes travel for weeks without being in the house. So now you have what you call a gender role reversal, where maybe the man is not taking care of the children. Okay? Now, because that woman is climbing on the ladder, because that woman is making more money, the concept of hypergamy kicks in, because women do not want to be in a relationship, usually, with people that they are higher than. They want a man that is horizontally the same level with them, or they prefer a man that is higher in level of education and level of money they make. That's economic status. So now, if divorce does happen, some of these women will even forget where they are and they file for divorce. When they file for divorce, they are still working long hours, probably. They are still traveling. The man is still keeping the children. Now, they are met with a surprise when they are told, you have to pay the man child support. You have to pay the man alimony in some cases. And these women, no matter how much of a feminist they are shocked. Because to most people, it is the man that is supposed to pay child support. It is the man that is supposed to pay alimony. But no. The gender role reversal applies here too. You are the one making more money. The man is keeping the children. So you have to pay child support. Now, in some states, you have to pay alimony, which is spousal support, to that man. And a lot of them do not like it. I saw this singer, some of you probably know her, Mary J. Blige. And she was told she had to pay alimony. Studies have shown that women do worse than men after divorce financially. So, even though women will get alimony in some cases, they will get child support, they get probably half of the man's assets, they still end up doing worse than they were doing before divorce. Their financial status plummets. And actually, the man's financial status go up. So, where is the common sense in divorcing when it's not necessary? That thing that you're looking for out there, a lot of times you won't be able to find it. A lot of times women that get divorced end up regretting it. And they want to come back to the man. But a lot of times too, the man have moved on. So you don't expect the man to stay there and wait for you. Because they probably begged and begged for you not to leave. But you were bent on leaving because there is something out there that looked extremely appetizing to you. So now you're gone. The man is now in another relationship, probably married or trying to get married, and you're out there crying yourself to sleep. Be careful thinking that life after divorce will be glorious for you. It is tough. And a lot of times, you will be met with disappointments and regrets. I guarantee you.
The narrative around child support and alimony is that, for better or worse, the husband pays it to their ex-wives. But there's a growing demographic of women who emerge from their marriages as the payers, not the recipients of alimony and child support. Some of them have even coined the term for this phenomenon, and they joke and say it's that they pay galimony. And while no one is ever thrilled at the prospect of writing checks to an ex, divorce attorneys report that a rising population of women are the payers. And their reaction to having to support their ex-spouse is pure hot rage. Rage is often the emotion after the divorce from both parties. But that's not to suggest that every divorcee responds this way. Some, especially those with children, are just fine about providing financial support.
When they get told, like, oh yeah, I have a lot of women who when they get told, like, oh yeah, no, you gotta give him half your shit. Or, oh no, you gotta pay alimony, because he makes 50 grand a year and you make 250. And they're like, you know, they could be the staunchest feminist in the world, and when you tell them they gotta pay alimony, they're like, whoa, 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 he's a man. He's got a strong back. He can get out there and work. And then suddenly the whole, like, gender is a construct and there's no such thing, that goes right out the window when you get told you got to pay alimony. That's like, nope, no. I believe in strict gender roles. Men should pay alimony. Women, even if you earn 10 times, you should not have to pay alimony. I've had very, very staunchly feminist clients who changed their mind about how feminist they were when they got told that they were going to have to pay alimony.
In order for us to complete this discussion on divorce in marriages, I think it is necessary for us to have a part 2 to this discussion. So watch out for part 2 following this particular video.